Hello Laravel friends, let's talk about Laravel 12.34 and 12.35 and the exciting new features they've got for us, like adding the defer method to HTTP batches, deferred queues, and failover strategies. It's a great time to be coding with Laravel, so let's dive in and see what's new. So we're kicking things off with the new defer method added to the HTTP batch method on request. So this is going to be super helpful when you're managing multiple requests and need a little bit more control over the timing. So it simplifies this process by making your tasks run after the request has been sent back to the user. Thank you, Wendell. Next, we've got the deferred queue. In this demo application here, where I have my blog post for Laravel related content, we can create new posts here. And the way that this works is with this post store controller here, where we have this action to create a new post and redirecting back at the end. But in between, we are dispatching here this job, which is a process new post job. And we don't care about really what it does. It's just a little bit heavy. And as you will see, it takes some time. And here, what we're currently using here in my environment is the sync option for the queue connection. So this means this will be run right here directly before we redirect back. And if we take a look, let's create a new post about maybe Wayfinder is here. It's about PHP and front end. Let's select the status, should be published. Here we go. And what you will see here, this takes a couple of seconds before we get redirected. And this is how it works because we're using the sync option for our queue connection. And we have here this processed, this job which will be processed, which takes a bit of time. And yeah, of course, this sucks a bit. Of course, we could use a different queue connection than sync, but yeah, sometimes you want to use sync, and especially locally. But here's something new which we can do here. We can say that this should run on a specific connection, and the one that I'm talking about is a new one which is called deferred. So this is very similar to other deferred option we have in Laravel for HTTP batches, for concurrency, where stuff is happening at the end of the request. So let me show you what this does now. We're creating a new blog post here. Let's call this Laravel in, 2026. It's published. It's about Laravel. And by the way, let's go back here. I'm tailing here. Let's rerun this again so that this looks a little bit nicer. So I'm tailing here my log input, and what the process job does, it also logs something inside my log files. So this means if it's going to run, we will see it here. So let's create this blog post. You can see we have immediately feedback here. We're going immediately back. And if we go here, you can see this post was being processed. So we know that the job has been run on the queue, but now it was running on the deferred queue connection, which is running the job after the HTTP request has been sent back to the user, which of course is great usability and user experience, because they immediately see a response and the things that need to run in the background are running now in the background. Thank you, Taylor. And finally, let's also talk about failover strategies for queues and caches. Okay, so let's talk about caching. I'm here in Tinkerwell and have a little example. Testing here is my key. I put something into the cache and then I'm getting it back. Pretty straightforward, and as you can see, it's working as expected. And let's go here to my environment file. You can see currently we're using Redis for caching. So, but what happens? I'm going here to my herd services where I have Redis started. So what happens if I now stop Redis? I mean, it's pretty obvious when I try this now, it's going to fail, of course, because we're not using Redis anymore. And yeah, this is a little bit of a pain because there are scenarios where, for example, you are scaling your Redis server up, or maybe it's currently down, and there could be several occasions where this is the case, and then cache is not working anymore, which is, yeah, a little bit of a bummer. So what can we do about this? We had this issue with also some of our Laravel products, and we thought about how can we improve this. So what we can do inside our cache configuration file, we can define here a failover strategy. So this means we're saying we want to use the failover driver, or when we are using the failover driver, then we have different stores that we want to use. First priority is Redis, but if this is not available, we're going to use the array driver. This sounds already pretty cool, right? So I'm changing here now Redis to the new failover driver. Okay, let's try this now again. We're going back here, and now you can see we are still getting a result even though Redis is not working. And how cool is this? So it doesn't matter if there's anything going on with a Redis server, doesn't care about what it is, we now have a way to handle this. And the same we can also do for our queue connection. We can also use failover here, and then we just have to provide inside our queue config file again, similar to caching, that this is the failover driver and these are the connection. And yeah, if Redis is not available, I want to use database, I want to use sync or something else. And yeah, this is something that you can use now. These are some pretty cool failover strategies that you can use for your Laravel applications. Thank you, Taylor. Again, the boss has been on fire this week. A big thank you to all you out there, the contributors who make Laravel better and better each day. If you found this video helpful, please don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for more awesome Laravel content. See you next time. Bye.